HappiDaze here, and in today's video we're taking on day 4 of Grand Party Season 17. So obviously this day things get a little bit tougher, so we'll just see how things go, see what our opponents look like. So let's go ahead and get into the first set of opponents that we have. So thankfully 2 of these people are using the strategy of changing your GP captain at the end of the day. Thank you guys, awesome, help everyone out, do that. So I could really take on either this top team, the middle team or the bottom team. So I'm going to just take a quick look at what the teams look like. So the first team up here is a strength team. I hate that Rhizo unit that's there. It just makes a lot of things RNG with the special bind they can do. And their middle team is just kind of your standard int team that you see there. It looks like it's really meant to take out a lot of Psy units. We have a Pooh who does a lot of damage to Psy, your Rogue, and Conus there. So that's kind of interesting that they had set it up that way. And then for the third fight, obviously you can't see who your opponent is. And then for the bottom opponent, we have kind of your standard quick team that we've been seeing up front. We have your kind of standard strength team in the middle there. They don't have Kobe, which is good, but they have Blackbeard and G5, who's 120, which is obviously something you have to be careful for. The one thing that I do like about this team is that pretty much as long as you have a burst ready, it's pretty easy to go ahead and take on some of these teams. It's not kind of too crazy. Usually that strength team folds with a G5 burst, so that's kind of the strategy I think I'm going to try to go with. So I think I'm going to face this team. So I think for the top team, I'm going to have my my quick go against their quick, just because we have the burst, so we should be able to just use the burst to get through there. And then for the second match, I'll probably do a mirror strength team and just try to use my my burst to go ahead and get in front of that. I mean, I kind of changed my teams up a little bit, so I'm no longer using the pure free spirit team. I did create an int team, just to see how that works. Now I saw some people in the YouTube community were using an int team to take on this quick team. That might not be a terrible idea, just because you'll be able to kind of get the advantage of the health buffs that those characters are getting, while kind of just chugging along. Now they have a lot of characters in this who will get the buffs, so that's kind of unfortunate for us. They have a lot of high defense units, right, with the Fuji on the back, the Conjuro there in the back as well. So there's just a lot of units that can help them out there, and it's a pretty bulky team, right? You can see they have almost 86,000. So like I said, what I could do is try to save things for the second and third match. I know that their last team, no matter what, won't be a quick team. So what I actually think I might do, I might see how the int goes against that first team. If I lose, it's not a big deal. I can have my quick team then against the middle group there, take them out without a burst. That shouldn't be a problem. And then I can use my strength team for the bottom team. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that's the general strategy I'm going to follow. So let's go ahead and click here. And yeah, let's get right into the battle and see what happens. So yeah, they obviously have more combat power than me. So their units are a little bit more buffed. But like I said, the benefit we have is we have the G5 Luffy that can just burst and just do a whole bunch of damage and pretty much destroy that second team without too much work. So as long as they get one special charged here, that's really all I'm looking to do out of this fight. Just get the special charged if I can't outright win it. So looking at this team, one thing I probably should have done now that I'm looking at it is I could have threw the Apu unit in the front line. He does give CT increase to int units, which obviously everyone on here is. But I really wasn't thinking of it. I like Smoker just because of his special bind abilities on the front line. I thought that would be helpful. So that's kind of why I ended up sticking with Smoker on the front line. Hopefully we don't get a lot of people special bound here. Oh, good. We didn't get anything there. Smoker comes in. Special round to Sora, which is awesome, so we don't have to worry about that fixed damage deal, which is great. So yeah, hopefully once Uta goes, if all goes well, maybe we can get our burst ready to go here. Doing a bunch of half stats. We'll let some units come in here, and then I'll just go ahead and dink the burst and get the easy win for match number 1. So I thought this would be a much more difficult match, and if they had a G5 burst, it probably would be, just because that Akainu cut is insane with what it can actually do. So yeah, let's just go ahead and finish off Fuji here. I can just go ahead and skip. I know I said there's no chance I can lose, and I lost yesterday, but I think 8v1, I felt pretty good just skipping there. So That is match number 1. So match number 2, obviously we're facing the strength team. It's still scary, even though they have, it's all strength characters. That Luffy just hits like a tank. That Blackbeard can do a 35% HP cut. Jack can do a 50% HP cut. So yeah, it's not a good time all around if you get hit by a lot of these specials, especially the Luffy special that hits through defense. It just kind of melts you. Even quick teams. I think if you look at the video yesterday or maybe the day before that I did, you can see that my team just got absolutely decimated. My team that I was using, my strength team, just absolutely decimated one of the quick teams that I was facing without like any problems at all. That was huge for us. Blackbeard just came in and just pretty much locked everyone. Like I said, took the HP cut, but it's not a huge deal. Smoothly reverse some specials there, which is great for us. Do a little bit of damage, and then hopefully once Tesoro. Oh, I don't have to wait for Tesoro. I can just go ahead and use my special now, just to kind of get through here. So that's what I mean. You can use one G5 special and literally take out the whole front line. The only scary part here is that King can do damage to defense, but I'm just gonna go ahead and skip that. So there we go. Match number 1 actually was pretty easy. So I actually think I like that strategy of using the int team versus a quick team. I think it just makes things a little bit better. Like I said, the real matchup here is as long as my strength team doesn't take on the quick team, I feel pretty confident that strength team can pretty much take out any other team that's there. So my goal is to have at least one match where strength is not facing quick, and that should use burst on that match to easily win. And then another match where I'm facing a strength team and I have a burst, I can use that burst to just wipe out the unit. So I think that's kind of my strategy that I'm looking for going into today and tomorrow. But yeah, let's go ahead and check what our opponent has for fight number 2. So for fight number 2, like I said, again, 2 people who use that strategy of setting their captain. Once again, thank you guys for doing that. I automatically see a Blackbeard in that middle team, who I know is a Dex. So that means that they don't care about the debuffs happening, but for us, that is fantastic. That just allows us to go ahead and destroy. And the Jack that they have there, I believe, is the Strength Jack. So I think that means that their hidden team in the middle is Strength. So I'm going to go ahead and just take on this team. It should be a super easy win. So I'll start off by using my Strength team to take it out, and then for fight number 2, I'll just use my quick team to go ahead and take out that Strength team. For this, I might not even have to use a burst. I could probably save both bursts for fight 2 if I had to. But we'll see. We'll see how the fight goes. Obviously, that Blackbeard can do a almost 50% HP cut. I think it's 40, if I remember correctly. So you just have to watch out for things like that happening. But like I said, because it's a pure strength team and I have strength units on the back, like there's really not much that they can do to take this team down, especially with Luffy there. Blackbeard, Kaido, like this team is insane, which is great. But they can just kind of melt through teams on Grand Party. Just missed out on Kaido, unfortunately, but maybe Kobe will kind of boost him back up to the top. Unfortunately for us, he didn't, but that's not a big deal. So you can see it's just melting through. Yeah, we're not even going to bother using a special here. So we'll use 2 specials on match number 2, and that will just help ensure that we can go ahead and get the victory pretty easily. And I'll skip once Luffy goes. I just love seeing Luffy just literally clear the whole board. It's pretty awesome. Unit is so cracked. It's unbelievable. And I'm just going to skip this last opponent here. So there you go. Nice, easy match for match number 1. So let's go ahead and get into match number 2. Oh, so actually it's the striker team. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it changes too much, to be honest. Like I said, we have 2 bursts, which is good. They do have the G5 Luffy there, which obviously is a little bit scary. But like I said, what I'll do is just before our specials start going off, I'll use the GP burst. We'll see if we can take out maybe 1 or 2 units, and then we'll kind of go from there. So the good news is because... come on. I'm just going to use my burst here just before I can't even those guys go. I mean, maybe I should have waited till after he went, just because he does a 30% HP cut now that I'm thinking about it. So that was probably not the smartest move. But it kind of... So we did in the moment. So it is what it is. That's good. We got Luffy on his revive. The burst does nothing, so we don't care there. Sora with some fixed damage here. Fortunately, it wasn't enough to get us to the point where we got our burst, but maybe when Kaido goes here, we'll just have enough. Perfect. And I didn't even get to use my burst. What's that, man? Come on. All right. There we go. Match number 2 is in the books with another victory. So let's go ahead and see what our opponents have for match number 3. All right, so again, people using friend captain strategy, so thank you guys. And if I look, so it looks like there's a quick team at the top. Not too bulky, which is good for us. I think that's the quick Orochi that's there, so I'm guessing they have 2 quick teams, which is kind of weird, but maybe they have like the Odin slasher build in that middle team. For this middle fight, it looks like they have a quick team up front. Probably number 3 is, with Kaku, is a strength team. So what I think I'm going to do here is kind of use this fight just because the int team worked really good against this team before. So go ahead and use the int up front. We can save the strength team for the middle because we know that it's a strength team at the bottom. And we've already fought the quick team, so we won't have type disadvantage. So I think it's going to go int, strength, and then my quick team at the bottom to go ahead and deal with that. So even if I can't win that first match, it should give good stuff for the second and third match there. And for this bottom opponent, he just has kind of a hodgepodge of characters here on the front. It looks like he's trying to do a driven build based on all the units there, just because of the buffs that they get. So it's interesting, but like I said, I think the middle fight is safer just because I can see who's actually there. So as I mentioned, we're going to go ahead and use int in the front. Going to go ahead and use Luffy in the middle, since we know it's not a quick team. And then go ahead and use the Akainu at the end, just to go ahead and help us take out that strength team at the back end. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. Like I said, we'll wait to see if we have to use our burst or save our burst. We don't have to worry because they don't have a G5 themselves, so that just makes things a lot easier. Akainu does the HP cut. Obviously, you have to watch out for that. I think Sugar does some special bind stuff, if I'm remembering correctly, but his bench units aren't really that scary. He doesn't have like those high defense units that we were seeing in our first match that we did. So feeling pretty good about this team. HP cut always stinks, but that's kind of the cost of doing business, I guess they say. That's good. Moria doing some fixed damage. Only did half stats on the Shiru unit there, I believe. Unfortunately, Smoker only special bound one person. Fixed damage there was a bit of a pain, but we were able to take it without too much problems there. Be nice if my Udo could go sometime today. Not doing really much damage at the moment, which is unfortunate for us. Is it just going to hit just a couple? That was unfortunate for us. It only hit a couple units there. Like I said, we're just waiting for our burst to charge, which is a little bit of a pain. More half stats, which is always good. Smoker's going to come in and do a little bit of special bind here and some damage as well. We're so close to being able to launch our special. That Tesoro binding was pretty huge for us, just because that fixed damage is probably the only thing that's kind of scary on this team right now. Our burst is ready, so we're just going to go ahead and use it just so we can kind of secure the victory. We might time out, but at least we'll have more units than they have, so I'm not worried at all about that. And with, like I said, their back-end bench isn't that great, so we should be able to hopefully, take them out pretty quickly in the next couple seconds here. There we go. So we got through. It was kind of just slow, just because we were trying to build up our gauge and it was just taking a while. But yeah. So the whole purpose of this fight is really just to go ahead and build up our burst meter. Actually, I'll probably use it here. Like I said, they have just a kind of okay int team, but Luffy should be able to melt them when I go. So like I said, I'll wait till I get my special ready. Then right before Luffy's ready, or right after Luffy goes, I'll just launch a special and should take out everyone else. And hopefully that will secure us match number 3 for the day. Morgan's gonna come in with some half stats, which is unfortunate, but luckily Luffy was not one of those characters who got hit. Alright, Blackbeard got binded. That's not the end of the world by any stretch, which is good. Unfortunately, Luffy just missed out, so I'm hoping that when Kobe goes, he can boost his special up to the front. I think he'll give a shield now to us too. That's good. Our units had the shield. He boosted all the units there. And Luffy just comes in, decimates. The backbench will come in, and I'll just use my GP burst and hopefully just wipe them all out. And we'll have secured 12 out of 12 for the day. So yeah, I think I really like that strategy of the int versus the quick team there. I think it just makes a lot of sense, to be honest. It seems like even if you have high combat power teams of the quick, as long as you have a burst, it seems like that's a pretty easy victory. And like I said, as long as then you keep one burst for whenever you face a strength team, because almost everyone's going to have a strength team this season, you'll be able to just kind of easily secure victories there. So that's why it's important, once you're done your matches for the day, to make sure you set the captain not only to unit that doesn't have a burst, but you also want to set it to someone in either the second or the third team, so that way people can actually see what the teams are without seeing them, right? So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and edit my leader, and I'm going to put, I don't want to put Gear 5 Luffy there. I'm just going to put the Cracker unit here, just so that people know. Actually, I'm going to change it to the Law, just so people don't confuse what unit it might be. So now people will end up knowing that my strength team is the middle slot. They could throw a quick team against that middle slot and then just try to worry about, beating the first team or the third team. Now you can see the first team, so you could probably get a pretty good indication if that first team, whatever the team is, you'll kind of can guess what that third team is. So with this, you can see 2 out of 3 teams. It just helps keep people out. So make sure you do that. Let me know how your day 4 is going. Are you 12 out of 12? Do you think you can get to 15 wins? Love to hear how you guys are doing. So until next time, be kind to each other. Thanks.